The Indiana State Police can trace its roots back to 1921, when the Motor Vehicle Police was formed. 16 officers were appointed to enforce titling and motor vehicle laws. The police became the Indiana State Police in 1933 with the passing of the Indiana State Police Act. This act still serves as the foundation of the Indiana State Police Authority. The Indiana State Police has gone through numerous reorganizations and through the years, new responsibilities. Responsibilities that were totally unheard of in 1933 have been shouldered by the Indiana State Police. There are 18 Indiana State Police posts, which are located at the Toll Road, Lowell, Bremen, Fort Wayne, Lafayette, Peru, Red Key, Terre Haute, Putnamville, Indianapolis, Pendleton, Connorsville, Bloomington, Seymour, Versailles, Evansville, Jasper, and Sellersburg. Although many of the posts have long been outgrown, the officers, both past and present, have maintained the buildings in inspection condition and have passed on a proud tradition to today's troopers. State police posts are manned around the clock and receive information from law enforcement agencies and the public. That information is passed on to troopers in the field and other appropriate agencies as well. Telecommunication operators maintain contact between the officers and other agencies in the state. Telecommunication operators perform a variety of duties, including retrieving computer files located at State Police Headquarters and from the National Crime Information Center in Washington, D.C. All radio and telephone conversations are tape recorded by the operators in the event the information would need to be examined later for administrative or court use. Detectives are assigned to work closely with troopers investigating crimes. Detectives investigate all types of crimes, whether it be crimes against people or crimes against property, and they work diligently to solve them. The district laboratory technician also assists by processing crime scenes, collecting evidence, and preparing for court testimony. The forensic science work, which cannot be performed at the post, is sent to the State Police Laboratory located in Indianapolis or regional laboratories located in Fort Wayne, Lowell, and Evansville. Vehicle crash reports, case reports, arrest records, and administrative records are all processed in a prompt, efficient manner by the district secretaries. In addition to their other duties, the secretaries assist by answering the endless number of phone calls and referring the caller to the appropriate officer. Since communications is the lifeblood of law enforcement, the equipment must be maintained in top working order. The district radio technician performs this important task by maintaining the radios, radar, and VASCAR equipment, which is utilized by the personnel assigned to the various posts. Troopers patrolling the district have their vehicles maintained in top mechanical condition by the district's full-time mechanic or at the general headquarters garage. Although a trooper is assigned a particular county in which to reside, the job responsibility is far from county line restricted. Troopers are regularly called to investigate accidents or crimes in other counties of the district and are called upon to quell large civil disturbances, direct traffic, or work crowd control at large sporting events throughout the state. Their work often requires them to be away from home for several days at a time. Drinking and driving is a full-time enforcement effort for the Indiana State Police. Sobriety checkpoints are also used by troopers to identify drunk drivers, and they may be conducted at any time or place, especially during major holiday periods. Troopers also volunteer to serve on specialty teams, such as our emergency response teams, commonly referred to as SWAT. These officers are equipped with special weapons, tear gas, and other state-of-the-art tactical equipment. They handle extremely dangerous functions, such as hostage situations, raids on criminal activities with known armed subjects, and they conduct search and surveillance operations on marijuana growers. Another specialty group are the scuba divers. They are often called on to dive in adverse conditions to recover bodies, vehicles, or evidence which may be in swift rivers or deep lakes. Still other officers do explosive ordnance disposal work. These officers receive special training in ways to disarm bombs and disposable dynamite and other explosives which turn up in the state. Several officers in the district serve on the Tactical Intervention Team, wearing helmets, carrying shields, gas masks, and batons. These officers may be called to disperse unruly crowds or ordered by the governor to intervene in strikes. These troopers are impressive adversaries for any group of protesters. Working closely with the troopers are the motor carrier inspectors. They enforce laws pertaining specifically to trucks and receive detailed training on DOT and state laws involved in that specialized field. The scales are located on Interstate 65 in Lake County, Interstate 65 in Jackson County, Interstate 69 in Huntington County, Interstate 70 in Wayne County, Interstate 74 in Fountain County, on Interstate 74 in Dearborn County, and on Interstate 94 in Porter County. They are also located at the intersection of US 6 and US 33 in Noble County, and at the intersection of US 20 and State Road 49 in Porter County. Those scales check for overweight trucks and are utilized as an inspection station to examine trucks for safety violations. The aviation section lends support to field personnel by providing aircraft for search and rescue, as well as transporting prisoners and assisting with traffic patrol. The state police posts are made up of men and women who are proud to serve and protect, proud of their heritage with the Indiana State Police. They are ever cognizant that Hoosiers rely on them to respond to the call, knowing that the ever-present danger may at times require they put their life on the line is always somewhere in the back of their mind. That supreme sacrifice has been made by 30 state police officers. The troopers, detectives, and civilians working in the district are under the command of the district lieutenant, who along with the first sergeant oversees the operations of the district. From the dunes on Lake Michigan in the north to the Ohio River in the south, it takes a special person to be a state police officer, a person with self-discipline and dedication, a person who cares about law and order and who is willing to set an example which hopefully others will follow.
Ricky Gill of the Indiana State Police is a trooper with nearly a decade of experience and seasoned instincts. So when a drunk driver on his way to get more beer nearly runs the trooper off the road, he knows exactly what he has to do and the extreme dangers involved.
32-year-old Jerry Frazier spends most of his weekends watching sports on TV. He's a part-time mechanic and a full-time drunk. Now he's run out of beer.
Jeff, I'm going to go to Brookville and run a little traffic. Okay, Rick, be careful. Okay.
Trooper Ricky Gill was a military police officer for 7 years before joining the Indiana State Police. A baseball coach, an avid scuba diver. He's married with 3 children. The intoxicated man drives toward town in search of a liquor store.
I was going south on State Road 1. I just observed a car coming out of the left side. And as he came out, he didn't stop at the stop sign and come into my lane and forced me off the road. Connersville 4130, I'm in pursuit northbound on 1 from Everton. The vehicle ran me off the road.
At first, the driver appears to be pulling over. Suddenly, without warning, he takes off again.
I copy. They got a roadblock set up at 150 South. That's good because he's all over the road.
2 miles ahead, Trooper Michael Spurlock and Fayette County Sheriff's Deputy Gary Pryfogle set up a roadblock. They want to stop the man before he can drive into town and threaten innocent citizens.
He's not slowing down. He might run the roadblock.
Feels better now.
Seeing that the driver isn't slowing down for the roadblock, the officers back off the road to avoid being hit. A driver under the influence runs a roadblock, and the chase is on when we come back.
Better now.
A drunk driver runs a roadblock, leading Indiana troopers and the deputy sheriff on a back road chase toward a populated town. Crashing through a fence and onto a dead-end fire road, the man loses control of his car. Knowing the dirt road has no outlet, Trooper Gill goes after the man.
After the car went in the water, even though we chased him and he drove into the water, we knew we couldn't just let him drown. As the car started going under, I started taking my gun belt off, and when the car submerged is when I jumped in the water and opened the car door and pulled him out.
The driver was convicted of resisting law enforcement, criminal recklessness, and driving under the influence. He was given 6 months in jail, and his driver's license was suspended for 2 years.
Even though I just chased him and he put lives in danger, now he needed help. And the only way to help him was to jump in the water and try to get him out.
Ricky Gill received a certificate of appreciation for heroism and still patrols Franklin County as he has for 9 years.
The growth of street gangs and gang violence has swept over our state like a tornado. They are destroying our cities and towns. They are destroying our future and our children. The distribution of cocaine, along with other illegal activities, has made street gangs very wealthy, and with wealth comes power, and with power comes control.
I had 5 new cars, brand new off the showroom floor in 1 year. I mean, there was a ranking. Me and my brothers ran it, so we never really got our hands dirty. We had the neighborhood guys, the weak guys that that clung to us we was the heart of the operation. Without us, they wasn't nothing. We had them. We sent them on the missions, told them what needed taken care of, and it was on them to take care of it, have it taken care of. If it didn't, we get on them.
Gangs are now controlling our neighborhoods and our communities. Street gangs are not just a law enforcement problem; they are everyone's problem. The only way to fight back is to learn as much as we can. Not only to recognize street gangs, but to understand them and to keep our children from getting caught up in this lifestyle. We need to learn as a community how to give our youth alternatives to crime and violence, the strength to say no. What is a street gang? A group of people that form an allegiance for a common purpose and engage in unlawful or criminal activity.
Well, the initiation after you prove yourself to the gang is you give them 5 nickels and they throw them up in the air, and they gotta pick them all up while you beat them down.
And what do you mean beat down?
Kicking them, punching them, stomping on top of them, beating them up.
And once they pick up the 5 nickels,
you stop.
And they're in the game.
Yeah.
Has there been anybody that didn't make it, that got seriously hurt from the beat-in?
There's been a few people.
And what happened to them?
Like, their back would get broke, or they just had to say stop because they couldn't take it no more.
We was supposed to have been affiliated with some dudes that we really didn't like, and some went wrong, selling dope. And we ended up in a shootout. And some girls said, yo, the police is coming, so everybody ran behind the house and cut through the alley. And when I made it to the front of the house, police was in front of me behind a black car, and he yelled, freeze. And instead of freezing, I aimed the gun at him and he shot me.
Would you have shot at him?
Yeah.
Why?
Because it was either me or him.
But all he wanted you to do was freeze.
Yeah. But freezing means giving up. And I wasn't giving up.
They had me selling dope. They had me doing drive-bys. They had me doing runs. They had me on the corners a lot of prostituting. They had me do a lot of things.
How do we know gangs are in our community? Rampant graffiti on streets, curbs, buildings, in schools, and at the bus stops. The use of gang symbols, common types of graffiti, or group colors. Widespread vandalism. Fighting between youth groups and increasing violence and use of weapons. Complaints by citizens. Youngsters commonly seen traveling in packs. Drug use and narcotics trafficking. There are many gangs in Indiana. The four main ones are Vice Lords, Black Gangster Disciples, Hellraisers, and 2-1. Most gangs in Indiana show allegiance to one of these gangs even though they use different names. Recently, gangs have split into two groups, folks and people. Folks use the same or similar symbols and wear items of clothing and jewelry to the right side of their body. People also use the same or similar symbols and wear items of clothing and jewelry to the left side of their body. Even though a gang is considered a folks or people, they still go by their set name. For folks, gang affiliations are BGD, Latin Kings, BG, and others. And for people, affiliations are Vice Lords, 2-1, to name a few. There are hardcore, wannabe associates, and potential street gang members. Hardcores are members who have been initiated in and consider themselves life members and have been involved with gangs for a long time. Wannabes are kids who want to be in the gang and sometimes will do anything to prove themselves worthy. Wannabes and associates cause the most problems for law enforcement and the community and potentially are the most dangerous. Some associates imitate and have no intentions of becoming a gang member. Potentials are youngsters who live in or close to an area where there are gangs and who have family members involved in gangs, so the potential to become a gang member is very great. Why do children join gangs? For protection or security from bullies and gang violence, to achieve acceptance and build a self-image, for activity and excitement, to fill the need for closeness and a sense of belonging and approval, of family and companionship, the opportunity to earn income in areas where jobs are scarce. What children are at risk? Kids who have trouble getting along in school, kids who have trouble getting along with their parents, kids who find difficulty in conforming to society's norms, kids living in areas marked by high crime, unemployment, poverty, broken homes, loose family ties. What can we do as a community? Learn about gangs. Learn to identify gang graffiti. Erase graffiti when found. Know our children's friends. Know what our children are doing. Spend time with our children. Do not allow them to wear gang attire. Do not allow hanging in the streets. Be suspicious of graffiti and tattoos. Develop anti-gang attitudes. Notify your local police of any gang problems.
Everybody think you gotta show a lot of love, that's true. But you gotta involve yourself with your child. I got 2 kids and I'm gonna involve myself with them as they come up. As they're young, that's when it happens. You know, and like not only just your kids, but other kids, the ones that they hang out with. You gotta become an influence. You know, instead of them looking at the dude that got the Cadillac down the street selling dope, they need to look at you. And that's where all this relies on, because, I mean, in California, it's harder to help because the kids just don't have no mother, no father. But up here, I see a lot of dudes that's in gangs just to be in it. They don't have, you know, the problems like they do in California where you better be in this gang or we gonna kill you or something like that. Up here, there's a better chance because you got the mothers and fathers that do have a chance. You know, they have a better chance than what they do in California. Like they probably have a job or something. But down there, they don't. So it's with the parents. And then as a community, they gotta do it. Then like people that'll sit down that's been through that they look up to help. Like, you know, it's like if I was standing in front of a bunch of kids and I talked to them, they probably listen to me just because I was the one been in the gang. I was the one that got shot. I was the one they looked up to.
Involvement in street gangs can only lead to trouble. Trouble with law enforcement or trouble with their lives. It is up to us as parents, teachers, and friends to help kids make the right choices.
Our next real story comes from the files of the Indiana State Police. Indiana Senior Trooper J.T. O'Daniel tries to help 3 intoxicated men, only to find out that they are criminals and that gratitude is the furthest thing from their minds.
JT, are you done yet?
Just about. It took a little bit longer than I thought.
I'm going to be late.
Today is Indiana State Police Senior Trooper J.T. O'Daniel's birthday. Tomorrow is his wife's birthday, but there's no time to celebrate as she's off to night school, and he goes on patrol in 2 hours.
Thanks, hon.
Trooper O'Daniel, who once worked for the FBI, has been on the force for 12 years.
You don't drink too many of them drinks, and it's like, I'm ready to go to bed now.
Hey, the beers are here.
Luke Hornsby just escaped from a Kentucky prison where he was serving time for armed robbery. Tonight he's out drinking with his cousin Henry Matson and former partner in crime Darryl Carter. Both men are out on bond on burglary charges.
Come on, guys, I got a wife I gotta get home to.
Well, you're gonna let me drive, because you're too drunk.
I gotta go with the boys. I'll see you later.
No!
I gotta go.
Oh, come on, stick around.
I gotta go with the boys.
Wrong door. I'm the devil-headed driver.
Jeez, man, you almost killed me.
Don't worry about it, he's under control.
Trooper O'Daniel only has 2 more hours left on his shift.
Mama, stay on this side.
It's all right, man. I'm okay, man. Whoa!
And go over the line. Let me drive.
Heavily intoxicated, the driver isn't concentrating. Moments after the accident, Trooper O'Daniel stops to help. A trucker and a highway worker have also stopped to help.
You all right? You okay? Come on out of there. Let me help you up here.
When the trooper helps the man out of the car, he quickly checks him for concealed weapons.
Guys, I'll take care of this. I appreciate you all sticking around. I'll take care of it. You guys take off. Why don't you guys come back here and get in the car with me? Come on back here. Hold on to him. You guys get in the back here. I'll get him up front here.
O'Daniel has put a box of equipment directly behind his seat so that no one will sit there.
Okay, guys, identifications.
I'm William Matson.
The escaped convict gives his cousin's name.
You?
I'm William.
William. Do you have a last name, William?
No, he doesn't even know his last name. He's illiterate.
Evansville 3555.
Trooper O'Daniel calls in a driver's license and warrant check on the men. He also asks for a tow truck and sheriff's deputies to back him up.
I gotta go to the bathroom. Man, I gotta go to the bathroom bad.
Okay, just hold on a minute and I'll come around there and get you, okay? Just wait for me.
Trooper O'Daniel thinks something is wrong and wants to handcuff the man.
Man, are you all right? Here, come up here.
A dangerous fugitive commandeers a trooper's car as he hangs on for his life.
Man, man, are you all right?
A prison escapee, his cousin, and an accomplice skid off the road. When Indiana Senior Trooper J.T. O'Daniel stops to help, two of them get away. The third takes his car, and O'Daniel is suddenly hanging on for his life. The man assaults the trooper, trying to shake him loose. O'Daniel tries to fire, but his gun is broken from the car door slamming against him.
Let's move it. Move it, move it, move it. Let's go. Get out of the car. Let's go. Come on.
The two men see a chance to escape.
Let's go.
Evansville 35, 55, getting some help on the interstate just east of Linville. I got injuries, 2 subjects on foot.
Warwick County Sheriff's Deputy Bob Urban and his canine follow the suspect's tracks. The trooper has suffered head and leg wounds.
Don't sit in the dog. Coming out. Sit in that dog.
The remaining fugitive is tracked to a culvert. Troopers decide not to send in the canine unit because the pipes are too small and the dog could be in danger. The Leavenworth Fire Department is called in. Firefighters pump in 5,000 gallons of water, but it doesn't work, and the fugitive won't come out. Tear gas is thrown in, intensified by the moisture in the air. The convict was found guilty of escape and being a habitual offender. He was sentenced to 40 years in prison. Dawson was convicted of battery on a law enforcement officer resulting in bodily injury and was given 2 years in prison. Carter was convicted of assisting a criminal and received 4 years in prison.
At the time, what most concerned me was that I had 2 people in a police car that was loaded with special weapons, grenades, thousands of rounds of ammunition, and the potential for terrible things to happen more than what had already happened to me. It just tripled. Even though they probably didn't know that there were a lot of extra weapons in my car, they could use my car itself as a weapon against me and the civilians. It happens so fast that you're hoping everything you've ever been trained and all your instincts and everything will kick in, and you don't actually think about what it is what you're doing. I think you just react.
J.T. O'Daniel, also a SWAT team member, spent 6 days in the hospital and 2 months at home recuperating. He's now a master trooper working Warwick County.
The original Indiana State Police Youth Services Program, Career Camp, co-sponsored by the Indiana District Kiwanis Clubs, was formed in 1970. After 10 years at the 4-H Center near Purdue University, the camp was moved to Indiana State University at Terre Haute. High school students interested in law enforcement or criminal justice careers are eligible to attend. Subjects and activities of interest to these students are presented during the week-long camp. An academic atmosphere prevails throughout the week, and students graduate with a better understanding of the knowledge and stamina required to become a police officer. Meals and lodging are provided through the university. Activities and training are conducted by on-site staff. This staff consists of Indiana State Police officers and selected members of other agencies who contribute to the learning process. The program was extended to include young ladies in 1974, many of whom have found their way into law enforcement service. Over 6,000 students have graduated during the first 2 decades. Graduation and an impressive flag-lowering ceremony round out the week's events. Awards and scholarships are presented to outstanding campers. Many Kiwanis sponsors attend the memorable occasion. Families and friends join the camps in a final flag-lowering ceremony at the conclusion of the program. Farewells are made with newfound friends, and the students return to their homes. Numerous campers choose to pursue a future in law enforcement. Some students from those early years now serve as camp staff members. The Indiana State Police salutes Kiwanis for being the pioneer organization for youth services. In 1979, the Indiana District of Optimus International joined the ISP to initiate a new youth services program called Respect for Law Camp. The Optimus organization, a longtime supporter of Respect for Law programs in their local communities, seemed a natural sponsor for this new, innovative program. Original organizers decided the program would be open to students in grades 5 and 6. The initial programs were held at the 4-H Center near West Lafayette, with later expansion to Vincennes, Taylor, Huntington, Purdue, and Notre Dame universities and Hanover College. Each student receives a camp t-shirt, is assigned a squad, and is given a briefing on activities planned for a 3-day camp. Over 15,000 Hoosier students have participated in the program since its inception. The Respect for Law camps are staffed by police officers who present lessons and demonstrations covering such topics as personal safety, off-road vehicle safety, firearms precautions, and drug awareness. A heavy emphasis is placed on the need for personal discipline in reaching goals. Staff members often notice an improvement in self-esteem at the close of the camp. The phrase "adventures in learning," coined by a former state police superintendent, seems especially appropriate in describing the Respect for Law camps. Exciting demonstrations by K-9 units, explosive material experts, and emergency response teams keep the students alert. A bonus for students attending the camps is the opportunity to become familiar with campus life. Many of them will go on to attend college, some at the very campus where they attended Respect for Law camp. The campers at Respect for Law camps look forward to graduation when they can demonstrate to mom, dad, brothers, and sisters the things they have learned during their time at camp. Parents are impressed with the marching demonstrations that are part of the flag-lowering ceremony. Graduation ceremonies give the staff a chance to recognize students who have been outstanding in citizenship, academics, and athletics. Medallions are presented to deserving campers, and all receive an official ID card certifying their completion of the prescribed course of study. Emotions run high during the final flag-lowering ceremony. With a better understanding of the American legal system, a keen appreciation for the role of law enforcement in our society, and the awareness of giving up newly made friendships, the campers find it difficult to leave their weekend environment. It has been stated that the most difficult thing about attending a state police camp is leaving. Friends are left behind, but newfound knowledge remains to stay with many campers for the rest of their lives. The Lions Law Camp is an outgrowth of Respect for Law camps and is geared to the needs and interest of students in 7th through 9th grade. Law camps held at Vincennes and Taylor universities address many of the concerns of young people entering an important era of their lives. Numerous return visits by Respect for Law campers was the inspiration for developing a program which was more advanced in instructional material and which offered additional insight into the disciplines required to succeed in today's society. Physical, emotional, and mental achievements are central to the development of the curriculum and staff members. The staff, experienced in working with young people, strive to help the campers improve in these areas. The law enforcement phase of the program does not duplicate the Respect for Law curriculum. It places emphasis on the forensics and gives the campers a behind-the-scenes look at our criminal justice system, which, while not perfect, is still the envy of other nations. Join us in a scene from one of the law camp graduations at Vincennes University. The most recent additions to the series of programs offered to Hoosier youngsters by Indiana State Police Youth Services are the JC's Junior Pioneer Campout and the Indiana State Police Alliance Law Enforcement Explorers Conference. The Junior Pioneer Campouts are held at Spring Mill, Turkey Run, and Ubachi State Parks during the summer months. Troopers and probation officers staff the camps, which are open to first-time offenders referred to the program by probation and welfare departments. Originating in 1985, the camp helps young people with a special problem look to the future while, at the same time, it creates a fun-filled adventure. Campers learn how to set up tents, start a campfire, and cook their own dinner. Firearms use and safety, swimming, fishing, hiking, softball, and field demonstrations of police equipment and techniques combine to make this the most unforgettable experience. The campers are provided the opportunity to see criminal justice professionals in a different light and in a different setting. The annual Law Enforcement Conference, co-sponsored by the Indiana State Police Alliance, is open to members of Indiana Law Enforcement Explorer Post. The weekend training held at the Indiana Law Enforcement Academy near Plainfield is an experience for students who want to get the true feeling of a police officer's job. Physical training, shoot, don't shoot firearm scenarios, emergency vehicle defensive driving courses, and numerous field demonstrations provide a well-rounded educational experience. The conference staff consists of law enforcement officials from city, county, and state levels. Guest speakers from legislative, judicial, and administrative branches of government expand the students' understanding of the state's criminal justice and correctional system. The curriculum is on a 4-year rotating schedule, allowing students to attend annually without duplicating experiences. All Indiana State Police Youth Service programs are endorsed by the Indiana Association of Secondary School Administrators and the American Bar Association. The Indiana State Police Youth Services unites a diversified team of individuals who care about today's youth. Through numerous fun and learning experiences, a select group of adults is able to show a cross-section of Hoosier youngsters that the key to gaining respect is self-discipline, the key to a successful career future is training and education, and the key to achieving goals is self-esteem. All these factors are built into each Indiana State Police Youth Services program.
I'm Ceres, and today we're going to talk about school bus safety. We're going to learn about bus stop safety, loading and unloading of the bus, and riding the bus.
The first thing to remember is be on time for the bus. You don't want to be too early or too late. This is not only a good idea on days when the weather is bad, but every day.
I try to be 5 minutes early. That seems to be just right. Not too early, not too late.
Next, wait for the bus in a safe place away from traffic and the street.
I pick a spot where I can see the bus coming, but I'm still far from the traffic in the street.
While at the bus stop, wait quietly. Running around and playing is okay on the playground, but not at the bus stop.
It's okay to talk at the bus stop, but if we play around, someone could get hurt.
When you see the bus coming, wait until the bus comes to a complete stop before approaching it.
Always be sure that all cars are stopped before you get near the bus.
Always cross in front of the bus. This way, the driver can see you.
You may not have to cross the road when getting on or off the bus at your stop, but this is still a rule you must remember on field trips or any time you might have to cross the road.
The danger zone is an area 10 feet around all sides of the bus where it is difficult for the driver to see children outside the bus.
To make sure you're not in the danger zone, you should be 10 steps away from the bus. If you can touch the bus, you're too close. Remember, if you can see the driver, she can see you.
Get on the bus single file. Don't shove or push.
Just like any other time around a school bus, this is not the time to run and play.
Use the handrail to help you board the bus.
Some of you bigger kids might not think it's cool to use the handrail, but it's a lot cooler than falling down and hurting yourself.
When getting off the bus, take 10 giant steps away from the bus. Look back at the driver, wait for the driver's signal, then cross in front of the bus.
I always look at the driver and don't walk until she says it's okay.
Carry all your papers in a folder or backpack to keep them from flying out of your hand.
I have a backpack, so when I take home things bigger than papers, they are still easy to handle. It's also great in cold and rainy weather.
If you do drop something, never stop and pick it up or run after it.
When I drop something, it's never as important as my safety.
Once you have boarded the bus safely, go to your seat and sit down.
Don't stop and talk to your friends. You can do that at school.
Always stay in your seat while the bus is moving.
If I'm standing up, the bus driver worries about me and not the road. I could also be hurt when the bus stops.
Keep the aisles clear. That includes books, bags, legs, arms, or bodies.
I always sit straight in my seat and put my books on my lap.
Talk quietly so that you will not disturb the bus driver.
Talking is okay, but we've got to use our quiet voices.
All school buses stop, look, and listen at all railroad crossings. Quiet voices should be used at all times, especially when approaching a railroad crossing.
To make it easier on my driver, I don't talk when the bus is near a railroad crossing.
When windows are open, arms and heads should always stay inside the bus.
If you had your arm out the window and the bus got close to another bus or truck, it could take your arm right off.
Never throw anything out the window.
Not only is it not nice to litter, it could also cause another car to crash.
Know where all emergency exits are on the bus or any bus you ride. You should also know your bus's emergency evacuation plan.
If you don't know where your emergency exits are, or if you don't know the emergency evacuation plan, ask your bus driver.
School bus safety is not just safety on the bus. You must be safe before, during, and after your bus ride.
Now let's go through the rules one more time.
At the bus stop, you should arrive on time, wait away from traffic and the street, wait quietly. When getting on or off the bus, you should wait until the bus comes to a complete stop. Always cross in front of the bus. Take 10 giant steps away from the bus. Stay out of the danger zone. Carry paper in a folder or backpack. Never stop and pick up or run after something you drop. Get on the bus single file. Use the handrail. When riding the bus, you should go right to your seat and sit down. Stay in your seat. Keep the aisles clear. Talk quietly, especially at railroad crossings. Keep arms and heads in the bus. Never throw anything out of the bus. Know where emergency exits are. Know your emergency evacuation plan. The most important thing to remember is to stay out of the danger zone. The danger zone is 10 feet all around the bus. If you remember these rules and any special ones your bus might have, it will make your rides safer and happier.
I hope you use these rules, and remember, be safe and you won't be sorry.
Next, the amazing story of Indiana State Police Corporal Jeff Etheridge, who risked his life to help a man stranded right in the middle of a raging river.
Clark Lander and Bob Rydell have been planning a 5-mile canoe trip for weeks, taking them from Marion, Indiana to Trail's End. Recent rains have made the river far more swollen than usual.
I'll get some help!
Indiana State Police Corporal Jeff Etheridge was an Air Force MP for 4 years before becoming a trooper.
I'll get it, Dad.
No, I'll get that. Let me get the phone.
One of the boaters makes it to shore and gets help. LaFontaine Marshal Paul Kars calls Corporal Etheridge, who is a diver for the state.
Bye. Got a canoe flipped over there at Trail's End, hon. I gotta get out of here.
Okay.
Grant County Deputy Sheriff Mike Andre is among the first to reach the river's bank.
Got a guy stranded in the river on some branches, said he can't hold on much longer. Guy's been in the water about 40 minutes. Okay, hang on to that.
The Pleasant Township Volunteer Fire Department also responds.
Oh, hold that one there. Been in there about 40 minutes, they said. No kidding. Water's gotta be cold.
With the water temperature below 40 degrees, every second is critical, and Marshal Karst helps Etheridge get ready. A drowning man in an ice-cold river hangs on for life when we come back. Indiana State Police Corporal Jeff Etheridge, a scuba specialist, is called into action to save a drowning man.
Coming! Hang on! Hang on now, don't let go, okay? Have a float! We'll put the device ready, okay? Hang on.
The man is too weak to hold on to the flotation device and begins to panic.
We're gonna bring in, bro.
With the current speed increasing, Corporal Etheridge has to look out for debris or parts of trees that could knock him and the victim unconscious.
Give me a hand. Give me a hand. I got you. I got you. I got you. I got you. I got you.
Nice job.
The man was treated for hypothermia and released.
Appreciate the help. You guys did it.
Jeff Etheridge received a Silver Star for valor. He has left the dive program and now works a post command in Peru, Indiana.